Okay, I could go first.
Yes,
Awesome.
please. There you go.
Okay, hi.
Jay,
This is a dream that has stuck with me. I usually don't remember my dreams, but this one has, it's just been with me for a while. So, first off, I wake up and it is like a very, very bright. And while I'm hearing this baby crying, I walk towards the sound. I come to this small, like it's looks like a baby that's only been like maybe a month old, and it's covered in like a white kind of cloth. And as I remove the cloth, I see that the baby has like a curved spine. Like it's like, yeah, it's really curved. And it's like, I'm upset in the dream because this baby has obviously something wrong with it. And I don't know, in the dream, I pick up the baby. And I don't know if you're familiar with carpentry, but there's like these wooden horses that I guess that you put stuff on to like cut. And it's like one of those appears right next to me. And I pick up the baby and the cloth falls down. And it's like, it's not like I mean to hurt the baby, but I pick it up and I like kind of like lie it over the horse to make the spine go straight. And then the spine straightens and I wake up.
Wow, that is so. Do you mind if I ask for clarification on one thing because I
Sure.
missed it? Um, for some reason I pressed mute and it blanked your audio. But before the baby was crying, what was the beginning? Did anything happen before that in the dream?
No, it's a very like
It
it's
started with it. Okay,
yeah.
good. I heard the whole thing then. Okay, I'll let Wayne go first.
me first. Let's see. I'm not gonna lie. I might have to clarify some of the beginning parts. So, um, first, I guess the best thing for me to start off with is like what was your feeling in the dream? Like, how were you feeling with the baby? Was it a scared, anxiety feeling? Were you concerned about the baby's kind of, bent spine and like just any sort of feelings that came to you while you were experiencing it? And
Oh, she's on mute.
yeah, maybe if you're on, yeah, there you
Sorry, yeah, she's on the phone. She'll be right back.
Oh, okay.
go.
That gives us some
I
time
love
to think
this.
about it. So yeah,
Um,
that
I don't know. It's interesting. There's a few things here, especially with babies. I'm always when babies come up in dreams, I'm always thinking about like it. There's an idea of like preciousness to it, right? That there's like something breakable, I think, or
yeah,
something that's very
fragile.
like fragile. And so this baby in particular has a curved spine. So, but I don't know, the imagery with it with the wood
The
being
wooden horse
curved.
was so, yeah. I
Yeah.
one thing I was thinking about, which I mean, when she comes back, we can discuss this, but I guess like a lot of times when people dream of babies, I think sometimes if it's a woman dreaming of it, it could represent like their own relationship with motherhood and how they maybe the ways that they feel they might be adequate or inadequate as a mother or of their own mother. And I wonder if she feels like there was something like her mom. I wonder how successful the spine straightening was on that wood horse and what the emotions were at that part, I guess, to know like how that went.
Uh,
Um, because it seems like it feels like when she speaks about this dream that there might be a resolve in the dream, but I am curious, like, a spine is like it's like the way we carry ourselves. I'd say like the solar plexus, like our strength.
yeah.
Um, and yeah, so for the baby to have something wrong with it and the mom kind of straighten it out, um, which I mean, I'm assuming she was representative of the mother in that dream, but I wonder if she had anything in her own life with her mother where her mother was able to like help her with something or not able to.
Yeah, or if there's like I mean not not that it like this isn't very symbolic, but I'm just curious if there's like any history with oh my gosh, scoliosis or any of the spinal diseases, like where this may just be something like you said, like more of a fear of something happening, but that um I don't know. It's interesting. The wood, I keep imagining like the spine being wood that can be like shaved almost and straightened and
Like
adjusted.
carpentry is like a tool that it's very logical, and it's a way of like, you know, it's like carving out someone as you want them to be. And so in this dream,
Right.
she's kind of the carpenter in this dream, straightening the baby out. Um,
Yeah. I think that's why I'm curious about like what her feelings were in the
about
dream too,
motherhood, her
because
own mothering too. Yeah.
like if there's like feeling feelings of
Yeah.
like if it's an anxious dream or if it's like more of a like I don't know. I think how we like come at that kind of issue probably says a lot too, but we're making a lot of assumptions right now without having any
Yeah.
feedback.
You're
But
really just taking shots in the dark. Maybe she'll, you're welcome to mute at any time, Lucky, whenever you are off your phone call. But yeah, cool.
um do you I have you Stephanie, have you had dreams of like babies and stuff in the past, like when you were younger, or I mean even
I
currently?
have, I don't believe I have, but I recently had a friend tell me of a dream with her baby that I was helping her interpret.
Mm,
And she had a dream that she was like checking into a hotel with her husband, and they had a baby. I think I don't think anything was wrong with the baby, but like she could tell everybody else in the hotel was like dressed better and like maybe had like, I don't know, she felt out of place at the hotel, and they go to the hotel room, and she was actually trying to like nurse the baby and it wasn't successful, and she felt like that was like a very weird part of her dream. And I was like, it sounds actually pretty, like it seems conducive to the dream.
mm,
And in the dream she find like there's this ceramic bowl that's like a fruit bowl, and she
hmm.
keeps and there's fruit in it, and she keeps moving it around the room, like just constantly picking it up, putting somewhere else. And like I was telling her, this dream is more about do we have the capacity to like nourish a child? Like, do you, you know, that's what it seems symbolic of to me. And she said, yeah, like I'm afraid I don't have what it takes to like nourish a child, that I won't be able to feed it and nourish it in this way. But in that way it felt like more of an emotional way, but in this dream it feels like in more of a like a concrete foundational way.
Yeah, that's a good point because I think that's how a lot of the baby dreams that I've like heard as well come up. Oh, hi, welcome back, Lucky.
Hey,
Hi, I'm sorry I got a phone call.
No
no
worries.
worries. Yeah.
So you need any clarification?
Yeah, well, my first question was just what was your like overall like what was the overall feeling that you had in your dream? Like did you feel like was it an anxious dream? Were you feeling happy or
It was an
like any
anxious dream. It was
mm,
anxious, and it felt very like panicked, like I had to hurry
Oh,
up and save this baby.
like a hurried
oh,
pace. And did the whenever you laid the baby on the wooden horse, did it resolve anything for the baby?
Yeah, the spine, like it
Did
cracked and
straighten.
straightened.
Wow, okay. That is really um that, do you have a child? Are your mother?
Yes, I have a child.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you feel like in this dream that the baby could be like a resemblance of you and your own mother, or maybe do you think it's more of you and your own child, like an experience you're processing?
I'm not sure. Like I did, like the baby was very like no physical like features that made me think of my children or me at all. It was a very
Oh,
just like
not physically,
generic.
but like have you felt hurried with one of your children, like trying to get them what they need? Like you can't do
Yeah,
something fast enough.
yeah, definitely. I
Okay.
do feel like that.
Do you have like any child that has like maybe more needs than other children, that I don't know how many children you have, but like that just maybe was quite a challenge for you?
Um, yeah. My eldest daughter, she's kind of getting into the crazier part of her teenage years. So
Yeah,
uh,
that's really difficult too, because I sometimes I don't know, sometimes there's a fear that comes up, maybe in my own, I have a 12-year-old daughter, but like where you basically, they say like you parent your child until the age of 12, and after that there's no more parenting, it's just like guidance. Like you
Yeah.
can't shape them anymore. And so her spine was already formed, and now it might feel like I need to like straighten this now.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know?
that's a very interesting way of looking at it. Yeah, no.
Yeah,
Interesting.
that's what I was about to say too, Stephanie. It's like the spine is this thing. It's like it's not an immediate threat, right, to the baby's health. It's like a baby would live with a curved spine, so it's not there's not a dire situation, but the spine itself, like trying to straighten it, it's like you're trying to fix like this long term, like, and especially if you've got your child going into their teen years and stuff. It's like the literal straightening of their spine, like getting them like confident and like ready to face the world, kind of, instead of having like this like slouched kind of approach into the world. So I don't know, there's something really cool about that.
Oh,
Is
wow.
this a dream that you've had like recently,
Yeah,
or
no,
that's reoccurring?
I had it a while ago, but I don't remember my dreams very much. And this is a dream that like I've actually think about it probably once a week since I've had it, maybe sometimes more, just because I can't, like, it was so vivid.
Yeah. And I mean, I've read a few, I don't have any of these books on hand, but like with like child development with adolescents, all of their behaviors can feel so erratic and hard to control, but that it actually is part of their development, if that makes sense. And it's very scary to see as a parent, like your child might have a strong will.
Yeah,
And
definitely. And she definitely does.
yeah, she might have a strong will that feels like you can't control it or something. But if you can
Oh,
just kind of like give her as much grace as possible, and also give yourself grace as a mother, because it's not easy during this time to have a child like this, like.
Oh, yes,
well,
definitely.
yeah, and it's almost like, I mean, the organic quality of the wooden horse that you're sitting on, and that it kind of works itself out too, is just this idea that it's like you probably most of what you need to do is already there, and it will work itself out as needed, like Stephanie was saying.
So it's just basically kind of working through this. Like I have all the tools. I've just got to go through the process.
Yeah, I think maybe with it's actually more like of an acceptance practice, maybe with
Mm.
the teens. I mean, you have to like, I don't know. It's hard to like, I would try to learn a little bit more about child development in adolescence, because it will explain all of their behaviors that feel so like, this isn't the child I raised. Like, what's going on? Is she going to go out in the world and be like, a drug addict that won't go to like college, and she'll go to prison, or like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it actually is good when you do have children doing this appropriate behavior. Other parents have issues where their child isn't acting out, and that child never really develops or leaves the nest. So she's going through proper motions, and maybe just learning about it, and just kind of like being there for her while she might be, kicking you back sometimes. It's kind of painful as a parent to have them reject you.
Yeah.
But that is part of their development, and that's exactly what they're supposed to do.
Oh, that's good.
It
Good
just
news.
hurts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she does. She's going through a little bit of a rough time. So it's nice to hear that it's just a part of the program.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's part of what, it's part of differentiation. So they're like she's essentially like she's having to learn how to separate herself from everything that you've taught her at this point. You've kept her
Oh,
perfectly safe and cared for all this time,
oh,
and she's having to set out on her own a little. That means
no.
making mistakes. I know it's
Yeah.
hard. And and the reality is like, as parents, I think you don't want to see your kids struggling, but
No.
that's like literally the only thing that turns them into an adult. And so this is just part of that process.
Yeah. So you got to let them skin their own knees and
Yeah.
live life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, yeah, I don't know. We're in one of those places where there's a lot of people who want to take on their kids everything that
Everything.
their kids are going to experience. Yeah, all the bad stuff, and somehow lessen it for them. But
Yeah.
part of the growing experience is just having to live it. So I
This
don't know.
is actually like grief too for you. Like you're now
Mm,
grieving the fact that this is no longer your baby. You might have, I'm
Yeah.
sure, as your first, you have a strong emotional attachment to her, and you think,
Oh,
could I have done
absolutely.
this better? Could I have done that better? That's bargaining stage of grief, or like anger even turn inwards at yourself that you maybe failed in some way during this development. Like every parent falls short, like so. Just really seeing it
Yeah.
as like a real grief. You're grieving the fact that you are no longer going to be able to protect this child, and it's just really scary. And you did the
Oh,
best you could.
it is. It's probably one of the most scary things that I'm going to have to go through.
I bet. I can't imagine, and I'm terrified for that day for myself. So, yeah.
and it sounds like you really care too, and like
Yeah.
that you're thoughtful about it. And so that's
Mm-hmm.
like you're already a step ahead of a lot of people. Not you're paying attention. You're recognizing it. It's just yeah, the unavoidable part of growing up, I guess. But yeah, thank you for joining
Thank you
Yes,
so
us. And
much.
thank you. You guys are wonderful. Awesome.
Yeah.
yeah, hopefully we helped a little, and
Definitely. You definitely
yeah.
have. I really appreciate it.
Of course. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.